I may cry. We'll see. It might be a little together. And I'm going to be reading off of this. So, anyone who knows me knows I could probably talk for 3 days straight without breathing. Fortunately for you all, Dan told me, Kelsey, keep it between 5 and 10 minutes. What he didn't realize was that while I was writing this, it was really hard to get the words out. Typical of myself, I do my best work under pressure and at the last minute. Sorry, Mom and Dad. And Joy and I decided to write our speeches in the press box during IB camp just yesterday, and needless to say, it sparked a serious trip down memory lane. Sorry, Dan. I actually realized my first game on Captain's Field was not in my beloved city of New Jersey, but while I was about to begin my final season as a Beach FC Piranha. At the time, I thought moving on from Beach FC and the girls I had grown up with was going to be the hardest thing I had to do. But looking back on my 4 years at CNU, I beg to differ. I'm good. After the heartbreaking loss to Frostburg in the semifinals of the CAC tournament, I knew that there was a chance I would never get to play with this team again. It was sad enough knowing it was my last game on our home field, but that came second to the idea that college soccer was over for me. The anticipation of waiting for the NCAA bid was tough. I'm good. I just can't read. Luckily, I got 1 more week of practice, 1 more week of lacing up, and 1 more unforgettable road trip.
That's what happens when you wait.
Yeah. I didn't know that losing in overtime and being so close to the second round of the NCAA tournament would be just as heartbreaking as not winning another conference tournament. But remembering what Dan said about college soccer, you only have 1 year with this team in this room, and that brings me to my point in all of this. Cherish it, roll with the punches, and never lose sight of what this experience is about. I started out my college career playing at UNC Charlotte, which is a D1 school in North Carolina. Every young athlete's dream. But I came to realize very quickly it's not at all what I had expected or wanted. I never saw myself at CNU, but 4 years later, and I can honestly say I could not see myself at CNU. I think I owe a lot of my happiness to my teammates, the people who invested in me and made me feel at home. Reminiscing on my time here at CNU, I don't remember individual wins and losses or who scored, except for my 1 career goal against Salisbury off of a free kick from Danny, or who was in the game, but I do remember the people I loved and laughed and cried with, and that's all it comes down to. However, there are things I will never forget, our countless hours spent on the bus and endless amounts of calories we consumed. The few times we convinced Dan to get a sweet frog and Chipotle in the same day. The local places we got to eat, especially Half Goods in New Jersey. When Bouquet called us fake. When Danielle, sorry. When Danielle fell asleep straightening her hair. That did happen. When Jocko was born. When Sam thought my eyeball fell out the day I got my black eye. When Joy scored against Emory. When Dan told Haley White Chicks was a terrible movie. When we got yelled at for taking cereal out of the dining hall before an away trip. And the lady said that she would have to have a talk with our coach. Dancing in the locker room for pregame. And I could go on and on. But most importantly, the thousands of hours spent with the greatest people I will ever have the pleasure of knowing. We play the game. We play the game we love, for the ones we love, with the people we love. Abby, shout out. So thank you, Mom and Dad, for always pushing me to be my best. Thank you for giving up your weekends and your money to watch me chase my dream. I'd like to especially thank my dad for being the absolute #1 fan. I don't remember a single game you missed. I know there were a few. Thanks for being the loudest one on the sideline until, of course, we met Mr. O'Shaughnessy. Alongside me. You're the best soccer mom there is. Thanks, Dan, for always being honest and always pushing me to my limits. Also, thanks for trusting me to play outside back, because it was definitely risky putting me there, but I loved every minute of it. Thanks, Jamie and Aaron, for being supportive and helping Dan out, because sometimes he needs it. And thank you, Brent, for dealing with my constant muscle issues and keeping it cool when my face was bleeding and my cheek was the size of a softball. Lastly, thank you, past and present teammates, for making saying goodbye the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I could not thank you enough for believing in me when I didn't quite believe in myself, and always allowing me to be myself. I would not have wanted to do college with anyone else. Thank you for the best years of my life. I love you all. Good luck next year, and I'll be seeing you.